Well, thank you everyone for returning to our event. We're very excited to have you, and I couldn't be more pleased than to present to you the speaker that we have tonight. His name is Sheriff Mark Lamb, and he is from Pinal County in Arizona, one of the largest counties in Arizona, 5,400 square miles. It's a big county. It's one county up from the Mexican border. He has an Indian reservation right on the south part of your
Yeah,
county.
and that Indian reservation actually goes into Mexico. So part of the reservation is in Mexico. A lot of it's in our county.
Yeah, so a lot of immigrants come in through there, right? So Mark, how many people do you have in your department, would you say?
So we have about 600 plus employees, but we are about 220 sworn deputies. We've got a 1,500 bed jail. So we're a full service sheriff's office. We've got an aviation unit, an anti-smuggling unit. You know, we assist with some of our local and federal partners. So yeah, we've got a robust sheriff's office.
Yeah, that's not a small, even medium-sized sheriff's office. That's a large
Yeah.
operation. Right, right.
Yes, sir.
And I've known about Mark for a long time. I've been involved with the CSPOA, the County Sheriff Peace Officers Association, of which Mark's been a member about as long as I have, around 2012. And he is a true constitutional sheriff. I've heard Mark speak many, many times. When we say constitutional sheriff, this is a sheriff who actually believes in the Constitution and actually enforces the law according to the Constitution. And he's a fantastic guy. Like I say, I've heard him speak many times. I'm very honored to have you on it with us today, Mark. And
glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, and he's got some very exciting news to tell us about. And it's an organization called Protect America Now, which he just started. And that's the main thing we're going to be talking about tonight. But Mark, you can talk about anything you want, but why don't you tell us about that organization first?
Yeah, so we're, I'm like all Americans. I'm getting a little frustrated and a little concerned with what we're seeing here in this country. Yeah, I think it's been slowly degrading. Politicians not doing their jobs, media misleading the people, and so I strongly believe that the sheriffs are the last line of defense for us in this country, to protect freedoms, to protect the Constitution. Right. And I know a lot of other sheriffs who feel the same way, and so I put this organization together called Protect America Now, and you can check that out at protectamericanow.com. And what it is sheriffs coming together to stand up for the rule of law, to stand against bad policies. And look, it doesn't matter which party you are. If you're a Republican or Democrat, you're bringing forth policy that is against the Constitution and not beneficial to our people, then we're going to stand against it. And we also of standing up for the constitutional and the Constitution, the constitutional rights of the people in our communities. Right. So we've got sheriffs. We started with 7. We're going to have 10 on the executive advisory board, and then we're going to have hundreds, hopefully, on the advisory board that will be part of going out into different areas and fighting for these things that I just talked about, and standing up for it and working together alongside with the American people, which is why I would hope people will go to Protect America Now, join our movement, help us, get behind us. Let's stand together, shoulder to shoulder, as we stand against these things that are just not what the American people want, nor is it what our country stands for.
So that's one question I had to ask you. So Protect America Now isn't just for sheriffs. You want people to join this organization as well, right?
Yeah, people can get on, follow us. They can, donate, contribute money is a big thing. Look, you can have as loud a voice as you want. If you bring no hammer with you to the party, then nobody's going to pay attention to you. They can withstand your loud voice. Right. I've learned enough about politicians to know that if you can affect their vote in some way, or if you can tear away at their power they have, they're going to start listening to what you have to say. Right. And that only comes through having an organization with enough money to be able to have a hammer.
Enough money, which means votes, or enough people, which means votes, and enough money so you can make a dent and make your name known and make your cause known, through
Absolutely.
advertising and promotion and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we want to be able to get into these communities where the relationship with the law enforcement and the community is struggling. And we want to be able to put some advertisements, some Facebook ads. We want to put some videos out. We want to come in and stand with those sheriffs in those areas and with
Okay.
the law enforcement. Obviously this is a sheriff organization, but we're there to protect the rights of all of our law enforcement and to fight for the communities that we serve.
Right, right. And so how has it been going there in your county in terms of you being able to help businesses be able to open and operate and things like that with these shutdowns? How's that been going?
Well, if you're talking Protect America Now, we just launched this last week.
Okay.
We've been working on it for a little while. We just launched it, so we're hoping that we're excited about what we're going to be able to do.
Right.
If you're talking as far as a sheriff standpoint, look, last April I was already fighting against this. I was standing up and telling our governor, no, we're not going to arrest people. We're not going to do this for opening their businesses. I have
Great.
continually been a thorn in their side. And look, our governor has been very professional with how we interact. I always am professional. I will call the governor's office. I'll ask for an explanation. And if it's not what I'm looking for and what I think is right for my people, then what I do is I'll go out and try to stand up for those businesses and those people. So I've been fighting against these mask mandates from the beginning.
Right.
I continue to fight for these businesses, which is, they're constantly being, the state has tried to circumvent us and public health and the liquor board going out and harassing restaurants. So we've had to stand up for that. The athletic commission for the high school sports trying to come in and tell you that if you're not wearing masks in the stand, they're going to take the referees off the field. These are all things that I've had to stand against over the last, this last year and throughout this COVID issue. And people see that and they say, well, you're against, you're just not, you don't care about people. No, that's not the case. I absolutely do. But you can't just focus on public health. That
Right.
has an impact on public safety. And that's what I've been telling both the state and our local level. Thank goodness on a local level, our county health department and our board of supervisors understand that we have to take a look at the public safety piece of it. Suicides are up, domestics are up, sexual predators of our children are up. All of these different crimes are up because of the COVID issue, because of the public health decisions
Absolutely.
that they have made. They have
Absolutely.
disregarded the public safety aspect of it. And that's my job, is to continue to fight for that.
Well, that's what we're seeing here with our grandkids, is the effect on them and their friends. We have grandkids that are anywhere from 9 years old to 19 years old. And, not being able to be in a social situation with their friends, not being able to have the sports that they are used to, all those things are having a very negative effect on kids. And they're seeing kids that are going into, having to be, institutionalized, or having to go into, counseling, all these things, and the kids are confused and they're, scared, and it's not good. It's not good for the kids at all. And we're in
Not
Florida,
at all.
which I know is nothing like California or Oregon or Washington.
I can't even imagine those states.
No,
I mean, we have people moving in here every day from Washington, from California, and they are just over the moon with how much freedom there is here. And yet we still we don't have as much freedom as I would have liked to have seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think some states are starting. I think Texas and Mississippi in the last few days are completely taking away all mask mandates and everything. And
and that's great. That is great, and I completely commend that. But I saw a very interesting perspective to that. I saw if you follow DC Drano on social media, he had mentioned, somebody had put out a post saying, yeah, that's great. Where were you? Why did we allow this to go on for a year before you did this?
Right.
This has been a year. This initially, do not forget that this started as 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Right.
And here we are a year later. If that doesn't tell you, the American people, that government very rarely gives back what they take, hardly ever.
Never.
If ever.
Almost
and
never.
So,
yeah.
Almost never. And basically, the government's not giving this back to you. We're taking it back as a people.
Right.
And that's what is happening in Texas and Alabama and or Mississippi. And I hope that Arizona and every other states will follow suit, because that's the only way we're going to get past this. The numbers don't support the actions they've taken.
Yeah.
They just don't.
Yeah.
I have had 754 deaths in this county, and my heart goes out to those people. But in that same period of time, I've had 795 overdoses. Not all of them resulted in deaths, but and then that's just one piece of it. What about the suicides? What about all
Yeah.
these different things? When you combined it, we have had much greater issues created by these actions through COVID than we've actually had COVID deaths.
How many abuses, physical abuses have you had between
Oh,
spouses? Way up,
yeah. I
right?
mean,
Way up.
that's up.
Yeah.
That's up. I mean, a lot of things are up. And not to mention, even if crime isn't up, you mentioned it, you already hit it on the head with your grandchildren.
Yeah.
What are we doing to the psychology of our children?
Yeah.
What is happening in their brains? We are completely stripping them of their childhood, their ability to play sports, to get out and to be active. I believe that putting something over your face that inhibits breathing, proper breathing, getting the right amount of oxygen into your brain, into your body, is destructive. So there's a lot of things, and I'm not against masks. All I am against is the government telling you have to wear a mask. I have a problem with that.
No, but it's very clear that most of the studies say that you're more likely to get COVID if you're wearing a mask. And that's obvious. That the reason why is because you're reducing your immune system. You're weakening your immune system by wearing a mask. It's not healthy to wear a mask. So
I know a lot of people the majority of the people that I know that are getting COVID now are avid mask wearers.
yeah, absolutely. That's
And
what I'm
here's
thinking.
here's how you know that masks don't work. Because a month ago, now they're trying to tell you to wear two. Well, why should I have to wear two if one mask works that you've been telling me all year works? Why would I have to wear two?
Yeah.
I saw the funniest thing. It equated to saying, if you wear two pairs of shorts in the pool now, no pee will get in the pool,
Yeah.
which we know is just not right. So, yeah.
No, I mean, it's almost as if they're just seeing what they can get away with in terms of what they're telling us to do. I mean, it's just ridiculous. The two mask rule is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But they started it out with massive lies about how many people were going to die. And so what they did, those numbers were so ridiculous and so far out of line, millions were going to die from this pandemic, that it started out with this massive amount of fear. And then they used that fear to build up all of these mandates and all these lockdowns and all these rules. And then everyone was just supposed to continue doing that, even though there was no proof that it was working. So, we've been lied to from the beginning, and people should just use their own judgment, be able to use their own judgment. That's what our creator created us with free will. We're designed to be able to make decisions to determine whether or not, we're doing something that's healthy for us or not. To have the government have this much control over our lives, our businesses, our children, it's not a healthy situation. It's
Not at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys we know you sheriffs are there to help us and protect us. And I think Protect America Now is a great idea. What can people do? If you could tell people just a few things that they could do in their community, get started to help their sheriff and build this organization.
Well, yeah, your sheriffs are going to be, like I said, your last bastion, your last line of defense,
Right.
to protect your freedoms. And so making sure that you have good sheriffs that are running for office, making sure that you're vetting your sheriffs out very well. And this goes for county attorneys and district attorneys as well, because there is a movement to change those out. Because what that does is it hamstrings us, because we arrest people, we send them to the prosecutor. If you have a very progressive or a liberal prosecutor that wants to undermine the rule of law, then that it puts them right back in our communities again, only for us to have to deal with them. And now they become emboldened because the system is not holding them accountable.
Right.
So
right. And so the people that are against the rule of law and individual freedom have poured millions, and I'm talking about George Soros in case anybody didn't know. And he's been funding those campaigns for these district attorneys, prosecuting attorneys all over the country. And they've done tremendous damage. Like that guy in St. Louis, trying to put the people in jail who were protecting their home, the people that wanted to, come in and take them out of their home, and break down
and
their.
look, and I don't know whether it's George Soros or who it is. I haven't done enough looking into to know exactly who's doing it, but I can tell you that there are groups that are anti-American, that want to see America fail. They would love to see a socialist country here. They
Yeah.
want to reinvent America. And whoever those people are pumping a lot of money into these organizations. And, you know, I know that George Soros is one of those people that has put money into these types of things in the past, or his
Yeah, I think he still is.
501c4s or whatever he has. But
Right.
all I know is I don't know who, I can't say for sure who's doing it, but there's definitely a movement to try to put people in positions to affect the rule of law, and that is a dangerous thing, because that is what has made America so great for so long, is our strong rule of law.
Right, right. Well, what I want to get across here today is to people who are watching this all over the country, is that it's really up to them to support their sheriff. And this organization you're starting is a great organization where they can go and start. This is something concrete. This is an action that they can take. You know, join this organization, support you, donate to it, and organize Protect America Now in your county. And right, that's what you want, right? A chapter in every county that's supporting their sheriff.
We would love all sheriffs to be part of this. Like I mentioned before, this isn't about a politics thing. This is about wanting to uphold our oath as sheriffs to protect and defend the Constitution and our communities and our people. And so we did this so that we can stand together. What you've seen over the last year is when they tell you you can't go to church and you don't want businesses to open, they want everybody to do this online and stay home, and kids don't go to school. This is no different than a pack of wolves coming down to a herd of sheep and starting to separate them out, because one sheep is a lot easier to take down than a whole herd of them. And what they've done is a really good job of separating us all out. And it's time we come back together as Americans and find our common ground. And we put politics aside, and we realize that the people that are truly causing problems for us are not each other. We need to stop fighting each other, and we need to start addressing the people that are at the top, the ones that are failing to make the laws or passing these horrible laws and bills and omnibus spending bills and all these things, and the fake media. I've been the victim of it.
I was just going to say, that's what's dividing us.
The media and bad politicians with political agendas are absolutely causing this issue in this country, and dividing us Americans. We need to come back together as Americans and find our common ground. We need to understand that we're all different. We come from different cultural backgrounds. We come from different upbringings. We come from different religious backgrounds. And there are so many different pieces of, but we're all Americans. And that's what we need to come together under, and understand and respect each other's individuality and respect each other's beliefs, and to be able to listen to it and say, hey, look, I don't agree with you, but I respect your personal point of view. And let's work together to fix this.
You know, it's 1620, I think, that the Mayflower was here, something like that. And it's 2021 now. It's basically been 400 years that people have been coming to this land for freedom, to get away, to escape persecution, to escape the Inquisition. Yeah, I mean, people were coming here in the 1600s to escape this massive, horrible system over there of the Inquisition and torture and everything else, and oppression and no freedom. They came over here. So people have been coming here for 400 years so that they could be free and prosper, you know, and be safe. And that's what this country has always offered. It's been that dream of people to be able to come here to this land and be free. And here we have a government that is really trying to destroy our freedom, you know, and that's not going to work. So, you know, it's up to us, like you say, all of us, left or right, black, white, I don't care what your religion is, where you come from, we're all here to you know, save our freedom, save that aspect of our lives that's so critical to our, you know, our success for ourselves, our family, our grandkids, everybody. So
that's right.
Yeah, and so Sheriff Mark Lamb, you are a hero, and you know, it's great to see you again, and it's fantastic what you're doing. Do you have a website for Protect America Now?
Yeah, so it's protectamericanow.com. And then I also wrote a book this year. So if you want to check that
Oh,
out, it's basically,
absolutely.
it's called The American Sheriff, Traditional Values in a Modern World. You can get that at americansheriff.com. And I'm working on another project, hopefully that people, your listeners, will enjoy. And I'll be unfolding some of that pretty soon too.
So
But you get
you're
that.
not gonna give us a little bit of a hint of what that new one is, or you're gonna wait until the next?
Nah, I can't. I got to wait till the next one. Bring me
All right.
back on in a little while, and we'll do that.
All right, I just
You'll
want to make
know.
sure.
You'll know when you see it.
That's awesome. So I just want to make sure everybody got that. protectamericanow.com is your website for protectamericanow.com. And the name of your book again, and how they find that?
Is American Sheriff, Traditional Values in a Modern World. And you can find that at americansheriff.com, or you can get it on Amazon. If you get it at americansheriff.com, I personalize it, send it out to you. So please, we'd love the support. All of these things help us, as sheriffs, and continue to push forward and be in a position where we can continue to stand up for the people. It's not easy. It ain't free, that's for sure. We do the best we can with what we have, and we all need the assistance of the American people. Without you, we represent the people, and we want to continue to hear your voices. So please support us, and let's make sure we keep good constitutional sheriffs in office.
Yeah, thank you so much. And everyone listening, freedom is not free. Freedom does not come without a price to pay. Every one of us, if we're going to get our country back on track, the way Mark is saying, is we all have to get involved, and we have to support people like Mark that are doing something and really trying to help us. And
if I could just say one more thing, and I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, go ahead.
I just want to say one more thing, because a lot of people think, well, how do I help? What can I do? They feel frustrated. But I want to tell people that you need to figure out what gifts and talents you bring to the table. Some of you should run for office. You have the gifts and the talents to run for office. Some of you have the pocketbooks, but you don't necessarily want to run for office, or maybe you don't have the skill set or the personal skills. So you can bring the money to the table to help get good people elected. There's also those who want to help, but they don't want to be in the limelight. We need precinct committee men and women. We need good supervisors and county supervisors, or whatever, county commissioners, whatever you call them in your area. There are so many different ways that you can serve, but you've got to figure out what you're good at and what you're comfortable with. And sometimes, like you said, freedom isn't free. So you've got to be willing to push yourself outside of those comfort zones, but also stay somewhat in your lane with what you're good at. And once you recognize that, like, there's things that some people just are not meant to do, but there are other things you are, and it's up to you to figure out how you can best serve and help out protecting America. Yeah,
there's a lot of things people can do. I mean, there are a lot of things at a lot of different levels people can do, and that is right. You want to find out what you can do and start doing it. And we do need good people to run for office. We really do.
Absolutely.
If you don't like what you're getting right now in your state senate or your state house, or your U.S. senator or U.S. House of Representatives, run for office. Run for office, and we really need that to happen. We need to take back this country, and it's a fundamental principle. So one thing I would say is this: constitution.info, constitutionaleducation.info is a really good site for teaching your kids the Constitution. We have another one of our series of interviews on that. And I was doing that with my granddaughter the other day. We were doing the preamble scramble, and she grabbed my mouse and said, "No, Grandpa, this one goes here and this one goes here." And
That's great.
And I had to drag her in there, to do it. But then once she started doing it, she really liked it. She put together the whole preamble of the Constitution. So there's all these kids games. The point is, there's all these kids games, and we got to start teaching our kids the Constitution, because we've had a couple of generations here that have not been getting that education, and they don't have a clue.
Well, and we've been sending all our kids to universities, and they're getting the education they want them to get.
Yeah.
And it's important that, and I teach youth around here all the time, it's important that you understand that education can be derived from a lot of different sources.
Right.
We have trade schools, we have on-the-job experience, apprenticeship programs. Universities are, in my opinion, for people who want to go into something like maybe engineering or be a doctor or a lawyer. Above and beyond that, There's trade schools. Look, there's a lot of people that I know that never even finished high school that make more money than anybody with a college degree. So you've got to figure out what works for you. And I'm not trying to downplay a college degree. I'm just saying that it's okay to get your education from different sources. The military, there's so many opportunities to get education. Don't be afraid. Don't listen to other people that tell you that there's only one way to get a job, and that's to go to college. That's not the truth. I'm not a college graduate. I feel like I've done okay in life, and I'm finding my way just fine.
Yeah, I'd say you're doing pretty well. 300 employees.
600.
600. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That really is. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mark. That was an awesome, awesome presentation. I really appreciate what you're doing. And we'll, on our end, we'll do everything we can to support your work with Protect America Now and everything you're doing with the Constitutional Sheriff Peace Officer Association, all that. So
Well,
thank you
I
so much.
appreciate it, Clyde. Thanks for the time.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Talk to you later.
All right. Take care.